everybody, and welcome back to my MonsterVerse-A-Thon, where today we are going to be covering the first animated installment in this cinematic universe, and also the first TV show in this cinematic universe. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is going to be a hot take. I didn't hate this show. In fact, I quite liked it. It was, sure, the humor was something, but it did fall flat sometimes, but I did find myself laughing a few times. Well, not laughing, like cracking up a few times. I actually liked the characters in this show. Charlie and Cap, specifically. Charlie was hilarious, in my opinion. Him going gradually insane throughout the season was funny. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was funny. Cap was actually a great character, in my opinion. He carried the season. Well, okay, he wasn't the only thing that carried it, but he was a great character, and, Annie, she was an okay-ish character. A lot of people give her flack because of how mean she is, but the show literally tells us she grew up on an island secluded from everything else, so naturally she would be feral and not know how to treat other people properly because she hasn't interacted with a human since her dad. But yeah, I still don't necessarily find her, she's not a good character, really. She's an okay character. I understand what they were going for, and the execution is okay, but I understand the reasons for what she does, and I'm fine with it. So yeah, another thing that people don't tend to like about this show is how it feels disconnected from everything else the MonsterVerse has done, which, that's fine in my opinion, because this is a spin-off show. It's not required for the larger story. Guys, chill out. It's set in the universe, but it's not really necessary to the overall story. So anyway, now that I'm done calling out people, I'm going to get into what the things that I liked and didn't like. So first of all, the monsters. The monsters were fantastic. The Kraken was a huge, I'm just going to say my expectations were exceeded with that thing. I expected like a Myers squid type thing, but blue. No, when that thing rose out of the water, I was not expecting that evil-looking thing to rise up out of the water. I was expecting a Myers squid. I don't know. But yeah, that thing was evil. Throwing whales at Kong to egg him on. Jeez, yeah. And not to mention Kong. Kong's backstory was sad. Kong was a great character, as always. He's great. The emotional attachment to his friend was really sad, and it's one of those things that stays throughout the season, which is something I appreciate. And yeah, Kong is just a great character. The Kraken is evil. I'm kind of disappointed at how little they played the Skullcrawlers. I mean, the Skullcrawlers were Kong's nemesis, but now they're just kind of cannon fodder for a greater threat. I don't understand, really, but it's fine, I guess. And then there's the Hawk, which I really like the Hawk. It's Kong's Mothra base. Oh, that was a hiccup. It's Kong's Mothra, basically. I also really like how they expanded on the island and its lore. because it's nice to see more of the island before it gets absolutely annihilated by Godzilla vs. Kong. I also like the new flora fauna they added, like the grass hedgehog, the aloe turtle, and the vine snakes. I don't know if that's what they're actually called, but the vine snakes. Also the killer chameleons. I liked them. I hope they come back someday because I need to see them in live action. Not saying the animated format is bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I need to see it in live action because they're so cool. And anyway, the plot I felt was it was fine. It was just about Annie's mother trying to find her, and they were stranded on Skull Island, which is, I guess it's a good plot, but it's not anything special, really. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred if this show was set in like the 1930s, so that we could have like the backstory of the Wanderer boat that appeared on Skull Island. But I'm not. I don't hate the thing that we got. It's still a good show, and yeah. And the monster action. Kong's fighting style in this was awesome. You can get away with a lot of stuff when it's animated. So there was a lot of blood. Well, not surprisingly, because this is Skull Island after all. But yeah, there was a lot of blood. And Kong's fighting style, you can get, as I said, you can get away with a lot in animated formats. So one of my favorite parts of this entire show is the punching barrage that Kong gives to the Kraken before he kills it. It's so great. And yeah, I like this show. It's good. So plugging it into the score, I'm going to give Skull Island a 7.5 out of 10. It's a good show. It's not really nothing special, but it's a good show nonetheless. And I hope it gets a second season. So, join me next week, hopefully sooner than I got to this week, as we journey into the first live-action show of this universe.